tonight.
From Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh,
it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns.
At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Tonight, it's the second of our Monday night doubleheader, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Under head coach Kevin Stefanski, and leading him out is their fifth-year quarterback.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
A guy coming off his best season as a pro. Here's Nick Chubb. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Last week, of course, the great performance. Over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Here's a 2nd and 8. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
How about that play from Peoples-Jones, and how about the 2-down-22 he had? Former 6th-rounder topped 800 yards, going from primarily a deep threat to a well-rounded starting receiver.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Handoff comes to Chubb. The tackle by Cole Holcomb. The Browns at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
And he gets it down to the 32. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. A run for Nick Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. A give running right is Chubb. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. These two teams all tied after one. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. Broken tackle. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll set up to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Sliding out of the pocket. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Chubb. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Chubb again. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. So how about this start to a year? Fantasy owners take note. 2 rushing touchdowns in the opener. 2 more here in week 2.
So a nice pickup by 2 entities. 1, this team for making sure they acquired this guy. And 2, anyone who plays fantasy who has him on their team.
So here are the Browns to take over. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. On first down, they'll run with Chubb, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You've got guys who can flat out run. Sometimes all you say in the huddle is go. They ran the fly route, took the shot downfield, just unable to connect.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's first and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. And that is incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards. Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to. But a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win more than his fair share of them as well.
Probably especially angry because if it was incomplete, would have been 4th down.
Exactly.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns go up by 2 touchdowns.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to draw now with Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still...
The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this 3rd quarter. The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They run it again with Chubb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The 71 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And his throw is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Flush to his right. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Two 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. They'll keep it on the ground. Felton. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And this one is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense, in which you won.
Their lead is diminished a little bit here after he threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So we'll see if this offense can right the ship. 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll set up a throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh, it's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The offense on third down tonight, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 8. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you can see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. And Chubb will try the middle here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
The Browns set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And even 100 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
This now a 3rd and 4. They're going to look to throw. That is caught. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What stop you, you're taking charge.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll run on first down. Felton knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 22 now, here's a 2nd and 7. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a give right side. Felton. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back and around the 18-yard line. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here we go on 4th down. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Felton is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Demetric Felton. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, Big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for Cleveland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll drop to 0-2, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.